Everybody, Vali here at Roots. We're going to talk about the teaching paradigm today at both at Roots and through our Systema community, and how teaching develops and happens, and the different layers and responsibilities that go. So this is after 20 some odd years of training and teaching and developing my own school here at Roots, and making sense of things. So everything starts, of course, with individual practitioners who are entering the arena and trying to understand and learn some skills. It's usually self-defense, martial arts, which is our entry gate into the Systema world. And practitioners might move up into, for various reasons, it could be circumstantial or because there's nobody in the area, but they'll move up into possibly running a study group. And study groups, right at that level, the individual group leader needs to adhere to a code of conduct and, of course, specific responsibilities. Usually in that case, it's essentially sharing drills so that you can achieve certain goals. And again, we're talking about martial and self-defense goals. From there on, we move into, if diligent and interest is there, you could become an instructor in training, which means that you have interest in teaching. And the instructor in training now is going to follow often their own teacher or instructors' footprints, methodology, style of teaching. And the instructor in training right away has got a much bigger responsibility in guiding the participants who are part of the group or part of their school. The instructor in training's role really evolves around having goals in mind and understanding how to create the sequences of drills necessary to achieve those goals. Now, the next step, of course, is probably the bigger one, is the instructor role. And the instructor in Systema, of course this applies a lot more than just Systema community. The instructor's role now is much greater. The instructor needs to be able to develop and carve their own approach, which often takes time. And of course, at that level, you're still going to be probably replicating, duplicating your own instructor or your own teacher methods. And the instructor has got probably the biggest of the responsibilities is to have proper goals, now be it specific around recognizing what you want your students to achieve or reach, and create the proper sequences again to reach those goals. The instructor also needs to be able to create a viable condition. So what I mean by that, and you don't have to be running your school for profit, but if you are, of course you need to have some business sense. You need to be able to make sure that this is a long-term project. So you need to be able, whether it's per hour rental for your space or you have your own facilities, it still needs to make sense. So the instructor needs to be able to teach and demonstrate. They need to also be able to stand their ground, be able to fight if needed, as needed. And further, they need also to be able to have some business savviness to them. Next, we go into the role of the teacher. And the teacher, of course, this is over many years, and this is a very interesting role where the teacher now has the ability to recognize specific stumbling blocks in their students and to have the blueprint for the student to overcome those. The teacher also needs to present themselves probably in a different way, in a different light. Usually, some of the responsibilities of the teacher grow far further than the previous ones. And the teacher needs to, is often, of course, a role model, an example, and it's often an honor to be in any of these roles. But once you're a teacher, you have a lot more responsibilities along those lines. So one of the other aspects of the teacher is that the teacher is also now in a position to develop their own instructors. And I'm not necessarily talking about certification, and definitely not getting into the politics of Systema and who gets to be in what position. What I'm interested in is the methodology and the approaches and responsibilities of each of these different roles. So once you're done your teaching role, I want to make sure I'm not. Another thing the teacher actually needs to do is continue their own self-growth. So they could be related specific fields that a teacher can go and study for themselves. Because as we know, there is no end to this. We're all instructors in training, really, all throughout our careers and throughout our lives. But it's important that we don't think, oh, now I'm a teacher and I can just stop and drop the ball and not continue any further. One other aspect of the teacher is that you need to be genuine in your approach, in your work. You have to be able to deeply carve how you teach, how you impart knowledge, and also how you, your own work, your own fighting style, which of course we don't really have a style in Systema, but it's really, you need to be able to free yourself of wanting to be like your instructor or your teacher, and you need to be put in that position where you have now become who you're meant to be. And lastly, we get into the mentorship role, which is, of course, after many, many years, you develop relations with specific students. Could be through your kid students, your teens, or even your adult students. And your role now is more to guide them through different aspects of their life. You know, you don't have to be, you're not the all moral value, and it's not that you're all encompassing wisdom, but you build this specific relation with some of your students, and it's no longer now about martial arts, fighting, self-defense. It's about, you know, the million other ways of getting slapped around by life, and hopefully you can be there for them. This is my own personal understanding of this evolution. I hope it helps you. I hope it helps you on your journey. If you're having any interest in growing, it's just a very, very simple blueprint. It's a painful, difficult journey. The most important key to this is probably sticking to it and being genuine, being a good person, being a role model, presenting yourself accordingly, and of course putting in all the hard time and all the effort necessary. So thanks again for watching. I hope this has been useful and of help. If you have any further questions, feel free to email me. That's at vali@rootsdojo.com or rootsdojo@gmail.com. And yeah, I'd gladly answer any questions, and or feel free to come and join us here at Roots. We've got plenty of cool programs. Check RootsDojo.com and hope to catch you soon. Take care now.